More pensioners in Wales are cutting back on heating and food than anywhere else in the UK, according to an older people's charity. Age Cymru says 26% of those living on a pension here reduced their heating over the winter months.
Well, the charity says it's because they're increasingly worried about the cost of living. We've been speaking to an 84-year-old from Cardiff who says he wears 2 cardigans just to keep warm and he has to dip into his overdraft just to get by. Well, here's Alfred's story.
Well, it had started about a couple of years ago, a couple of years ago. When you're working, you had a fairly decent salary. You don't have to think about, you want to buy something good, but you want to save some money, you can save it. But now you just can't do that. Besides getting my state pension and my civil service pension, I have to withdraw from my savings and the overdraft limit which I have with my bank to pay my bills and so forth. I have to put an extra warm clothing, maybe 2 or 3 cardigans, and my tracksuit and under my trousers, so I keep warm that way. I'm still wearing clothes that I bought since the 1970s, Sure, I got someone to turn the shirt collars around for me, so. If I have this one jacket potato, could I eat that whole potato one day? Should I cut it in half or leave half for the next day? So looking into the future, this could be a rather awful sort of situation in which to live, really. It's a worrying situation for us old people, I think.
It's a tough time for Alfred. They were joined by Graham Francis from Age Cymru. Alfred said that it's a very worrying time for older people. Why isn't there more being done to help people like him?
Well, sadly, Alfred's story is fairly common across Wales. We know about 1 in 3 older people live on a low income, and as we saw in your piece, about a quarter of people were very concerned this winter about the cost of heating at home. I think there is some things being done for older people in terms of some support out there. One of the problems is people don't know about it and are put off from claiming things like benefits for various reasons, from stigma through to the process being very complicated, but also a lot of people just simply not being aware of what's out there and the support they could get, which is why today Age Cymru is launching our Let's Talk Money campaign to encourage older people to go and speak to an expert organisation like Age Cymru and to get some support.
How available is that to them? Do they have local branches and accessibility? Because obviously things like online might not be quite so accessible to them.
Well, quite right. We have a high street presence in a lot of places around Wales. Our local Age Cymru partners are all over Wales, but also we have a national helpline which people can ring, which is on 0800 169 6565.
I'll try and get that on the website later for you.
Thank you. And people can go on there and sort of do a benefits health check, and through one of our offices recently someone came in and we ran through the process with them and looked at what they might be available to, and they're now getting £12,000 more a year, which is an incredible amount of money that they were missing out on or they were entitled to before.
Now, I think everyone's aware that fuel bills are continuing to rise. Is this sort of problem only going to get worse?
Unfortunately, all the projections do show that energy bills are going to continue to rise in the short term before maybe coming down later on. But I think, we're talking 20 years into the future for that. So, yeah, it is a major problem. But one of the sad things about it is that actually a lot of people who are struggling now could get help and actually could be helped. The amount that people can on average get through pension credit, for example, is more than the cost of an annual fuel bill. So there's a